So welcome to the class, everyone. I'm Miss Wilson. I'm still working part-time from home and then part-time from campus. But you can reach me through the methods that I sent out last night, and I'll also go over our syllabus in a little bit here that kind of shares that. So you can see I still have Christmas going on in the background, and I probably will for a few more weeks. I have a 5-year-old and a 2-year-old and a new baby who love the Christmas lights. So you guys might be looking at some Christmas decor. Most of this quarter. I don't know. Okay, let me go ahead and share the syllabus though. How many of you have already logged into Canvas? A couple people, one or two. Great. I'm going to share Canvas and there's not much there. So I'm going to show you my screen. It's a lot more full than what your screen would be on Canvas because a lot of items in there are locked. And what I do is I unlock each week with what we need. So I'm not in screen share yet. Let me screen share. This should be our class. There we are. So as you can see, my screen's a little bit busier than what you should be seeing in Canvas. All these little white block out symbols, these are things that are still locked. We're not doing them yet, okay? So the only things when you go to your homepage in Canvas for this class, you should be seeing our course syllabus. It should look like that, syllabus guidance 102, winter 2021. And then you should be seeing all these quizzes. Those should be open for you to view. You don't have to take them all yet. It tells you what week is what chapter, etc. But we do have our bonus syllabus quiz, and that is already got a date on it for you. So you should have a little notification on the sidebar on your student screen somewhere that gives you just weekly updates of like what's due, like a calendar, what's up and what's due. But this is the one that we have. Notice it's bonus. So if anybody's dropping or adding classes this week and you don't get a chance to take it, it's not going to penalize you. Starting next week though, week 2, you have to have the book. You notice this says chapter 1, right, for your book, etc. So you have a little bit of a grace period here. If you don't have your book yet, anybody not have your book yet, that's okay. That's okay. I figured, okay? So if you don't have your book yet, no problem. Go ahead and get it ordered though, or check on the bookstore. It's called On Course and it's the 9th edition. We are not using MindTap. I think it's too much work for the students and we've got plenty to do with this class. So no MindTap. If you buy from the bookstore, they only sell it with MindTap. That's like a deal that they have going. But if you leave the shrink wrap on the MindTap and don't open it, don't use the code, you might be able to resell that to another student later on down the line because this is the textbook and the stuff that's required for all of the sections of Guidance 102. Every instructor uses it. So anyway, just FYI, if you, I know I was always in the business of trying to sell my materials at the end of the quarter and get a little bit of my money back. If that's you, you know, I get it. So leave that MindTap access code in the shrink wrap or don't scratch it off, you know, leave the code untouched and then you should be able to maybe resell that at the end of the quarter. Okay, so the bonus syllabus quiz is here for you. And the only other item you should be aware of for this week, this little survey, it's blocked out right here because it's not working. The link they gave me, I wasn't able to get it to work. So rather than having it unlocked and then students saying, Ms. Wilson, I can't do this, it's not working for me. I've sent an email out to IT as well as my supervisor. Hopefully we'll get this working sometime today. And if it takes a little longer than that, I'll extend the deadline and you won't have to do it this week. In a general rule, everything's due Sunday nights at 11:59 p.m. So you have the entire week. Even if you have to miss class a day or something like that, you've got the entire week to do any of our assignments. We do 3 a week and they are usually pretty short and sweet. I try to keep things short and sweet. Some of these surveys they have you guys taking as you're trying to figure out a little bit more about your work style and what career path is going to be the best choice for you. Some of those take a little bit longer. In my on-ground classes, I always give students plenty of time, and we even schedule computer lab days. So that's like some of the class time, I'll take us to the computer lab and you can work on it. So I'll try to do my best here. As we move forward in the quarter, if there's a lot of like homework that I know is going to take longer, I may establish a couple of our sessions as a computer lab day, like work on your, and I'll still be on the call, we'll still meet, but this is your hour to work on this survey so that you don't have like extra homework on top of anything. The only other thing, and so I'm just kind of giving you a quick navigation to Canvas here. So as you can see on my screen, all of these we haven't gotten to yet, so they're locked. Under the week 1, the only thing you should be seeing that's available to you is the syllabus. We'll get to that in a minute. And then further down, you should see our bonus quiz for this week. The only other items, so remember there'll be typically 3 items a week. is the discussion forum. And that's located over here on the left-hand side. It's a little bit hard, I think, sometimes for students to find, but we have a discussion post every week. So once a week, every week. They're due on Sunday nights. You'll see here's the first one for week 1, and it's available until January 10th. The rest of them don't have dates on them, right? So they're not set for you to do. I'll go ahead and click on it and let you see. So there's 3 paragraphs here, and you'll provide a response to each one. We'll go over it a little more in depth in a minute. And if we've got time today, I usually don't go over the entire syllabus all in one session because that bores people. But if we have a little time, I may have 10 minutes, 15 minutes at the end here for us to just work on your journal and go ahead and get that done. Okay. So I know that nobody is majoring in Guidance 102. It's a required class that you've been expected to take. And so I try to be respectful as you are taking like required math classes, required English classes, etc., to make sure that the homework load is not overwhelming with this class. I try to keep it as light as possible. I do have to follow what the requirements are for our department. I teach English, by the way. So if you decide after taking Guidance 102, if you haven't had English 101 yet or English 102 and you decide you like the way this course works, feel free to look for me on the schedule next time you need to take an English class. So I clicked on it. You guys should be able to click on it. I think I also attached it to the email that I sent out last night. So you've got a couple of ways to access the course syllabus if you need it. Let me see a thumbs up to make sure that this is viewable for everybody. The syllabus, yes, and you should be able to access it, as I said, on your own. Might be a little bit tiny on your screen. Is it tiny on your screen? Yeah, okay, let's see. Hopefully I'll zoom on my Zoom. Sometimes that works, sometimes it doesn't. If I get frozen or something like that, just bear with me. Sometimes it gets quirky when I try to zoom too close, but hopefully this is a little bigger on the font. But also, again, remember, I think I attached that to the email I sent out last night. That way students have 2 ways to access the syllabus. Here's our course link. So if you're on the Zoom call, you got our course link. We will use this every single time. So you could save this link somewhere. I recommend saving it in a couple places. That way, boom, you can access it. If ever you're in a situation where you need to call in by phone, that's what this stuff is right here. If you need to just call the number, and when you call in, it's like an automated thing. It'll ask you, what's the meeting ID? You type that in. What's the passcode? You type that in, and it will say, you are now being launched into the meeting. And then it will ask you to hit *6 to mute yourself or whatever. So if you need to do that, I'm okay with it. I do, for attendance reasons, want to see and hear from everyone. So I'll pick on JD, for example, right now. JD is blacked out on the screen. I'm okay with that. This is college, but I do need to like see and hear from everybody a little bit each day. And if I notice students are just like blacked out all the time, I'll be like calling on you frequently. So I do ask in order to get credit for participation. You may see that I'm not wearing like a ton of makeup or anything today. This is my house. This is my Christmas decor. This is COVID, you know? So we may all not be feeling so great or looking so great. Sometimes if you're in your PJs, that's okay. But I do want to be able to see everyone for at least part of the call so that I can give you credit for being here. Okay. So again, if you've got something distracting going on, I get it. Like, you know, kids running around. I've got 3 children, so there could be days where you see all of them. My 2-year-old had a runny nose 3 different times in fall quarter. And every time the daycare calls and says she's got a runny nose, we're required to have you pick her up and test her for COVID. And I'm like, really? Okay. So, you know, there may be a day or 2 where you see my 2-year-old or something like that. Anyway, do go ahead. So take a few minutes if you need to, but I will be check and roll here shortly. So I will need to actually be able to see everybody in about 10 minutes. Okay. So if you're blacked out right now, get set up, get ready, and just be ready to touch base with me in a few minutes to let me know that you're here. This is the fastest way to reach me. Email is by far the fastest way. I cannot guarantee an immediate response. I've got other classes going on. I'm part-time from home in the mornings, and then I'm part-time on campus in the afternoons. And between the 2, I'm not going to be able to just be on my email. But in the evenings, I do check, and I usually check 2 or 3 times throughout the day when I've got time. So this is the fastest way. Obviously, I'm not at my office right now. So if you physically call my office, you're not going to catch me, right? I'm only there a couple times a week. So I'm checking that a couple times a week. So Google Voice phone. So I highlighted this one. This one is the fastest. Email is the quickest, not instant, but within a few hours usually if it's during the work week. Google Voice, this is a direct line. Again, I can't promise I'm just going to be able to pick up my phone and talk to you right then, but I check this one frequently. It goes straight to my cell phone. So frequently in between classes, etc., I do check this one more. Okay. That's just to help you if you have something, you know, to be able to get in touch. Okay. Let me pause for a second, ask if there are any questions so far. I'm kind of hitting the highlights on the syllabus. I'm going to be quiet and speak up if you have a question.
We're gonna need the book by?
Next week. So technically the last day, so everything's due Sunday nights at 11:59 p.m. So we're starting to look at the book next week, and then your quiz on that chapter will be Sunday night at 11:59 p.m. So next week, Sunday night, 2 weeks total. Basically, you have to get it in.
For sure.
Yeah.
Sweet.
And also used is fine. So if you need to order used, remember we're not using the Mind Tap, so you don't have to get the shrink wrapped copy. A used will work, okay? And we'll be going over some of it in the class to kind of help you with the quizzes. So excellent question, Ben. Are there any other questions? No? Okay. With that said, go ahead. Those of you who are in on, I call it blackout mode, but if you're in audio only, go ahead and access those videos so that I can give people credit for being here. Hi, Lexi, I see you. Hi, Kylie, I see you. Toyi?
I don't have a webcam at the moment.
That's okay, but you just spoke up when I called on you, so I know you're not checked out somewhere. I know you're here.
All right.
Okay. Kin May? Is Kin May here?
Yes, she's here.
Okay.
She tried to join. Yeah, her audio is not working.
Okay. Thank you. Thank you for letting me know. Who is speaking up to let me know? Sa?
Yes.
Yes. Is she there with you?
Yes, she's
Awesome.
here.
Okay, hold on. Okay. Hold on. I'm having to. Can you wave really quick one more time? Oh, okay. I see. Hey, nice to see you. Okay, awesome. I have to kind of scroll down through all of the pictures. Okay. All right. So guys, thanks for checking in. And then others I see on the call. Let's see. JD, I think, is that JD? Is that you? Yes, I see you. Awesome. Okay. So if you want to go back into hiding, I get it. No problem. You can black out now. I'm just doing a check-in to make sure everybody is here. Okay. One thing I do advise, and that is no zooming while driving. I can't control what you do, but I have had students who were like so desperate on class that they were like literally driving and trying to be on video with me. And that scares me. I've got 3 young children. I don't want to be on the road driving while someone else is zooming. So yeah, if you just be safe if you're ever in that situation, and you totally have permission to be in blackout mode. Okay. I'm not going to read this entire paragraph. I think, again, I don't want to bore everyone with the syllabus. We're here to help you. The reason that you are required to take this class, no matter what major you're considering, is to try to help you design a plan. I've been teaching for about 11 years, not here in Spokane. This is only my 2nd year in Spokane, but I've been teaching altogether about 11 years. And it's very normal. So I've taught in Oklahoma in the past. I'm originally from Mississippi. I taught in Montana on the Flathead Indian Reservation for a few years. I also taught in Saipan. Bonus points to anybody who knows where Saipan is. Anybody know where Saipan is at? Anybody ever heard of Saipan? Okay, maybe one day we'll have a little lesson on Saipan. It's pretty cool history there. It's an island out in the Pacific that's a Commonwealth of the United States, kind of like Puerto Rico. Puerto Rico is maybe more well-known and more famous. Guam is also maybe more well-known and more famous, but Saipan is an island out in the Pacific. At any rate, so anywhere I've taught, students you usually need some time to figure out what it is that you really, 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 really want to do with your life, right? Some of you are here just because, like, honestly, I need a job. I need money. I got to pay for my children. I've got to pay my rent. I've got this or that. So I need a program where I can finish it in a year or two and get to work. Some of you, I hope, are also wanting to be happy with the work that you do. I've worked before, so it took me 9 years to become a professor, and I was working the entire time in other fields, some that I liked okay, some that I hated. Um, you know, I still had to pay bills, but that kind of helped me have that light at the end of the tunnel. Like, I really want this job. I think I will be happy if I'm in this job. So this is what I want to try to do. So I feel like many of you, even if you do know, like, look, I just got to get to work and get some money, you're still seeking something. You're still seeking, like, what is a career? What is a job I could go to Monday through Friday or Monday through Saturday or whatever, and be happy. Okay. So that's what we're trying to help you with when we put you through some of the things that we're going to put you through in this course, is recognizing careers that you maybe had not ever thought of before that might be good for you based on things that you share with us about your abilities, your good skill sets, etc. So checklist here, the things that we're going to do by the end of the quarter, and also resources that are available for you on campus. We'll be going through these throughout the course. Here's our required materials. This is what you need. And again, unofficially, I don't assign mind tap because I think it's too much work for the students. So you can leave that part in the shrink wrap. If you get a used copy, it's fine with me. You'll be just fine on the quizzes. Okay. Student participation is crucial. Please do not Zoom and drive, though. That's unsafe for you and others. So if you need to be, if you got a lot going on and you need to be in blackout mode, just know I am going to be doing check-ins throughout the call just to see who's here, who's not. And it may be more than once during the call. So if I do like roll call at the beginning, I might be checking in with you at some other point to see if you're here. Okay. All other weekly quizzes and journals and other assignments we do on Sundays at 11:59 p.m. So that won't change. Even though we have our live sessions, the due date is always the same. Sunday nights, 11:59 before we start the next week. Okay. Typically you will have 3 items a week that are due. Okay. Behavior, as you have maybe heard of before, there's been Zoom bombings and things like that. So we want to stay away from that. Don't give out the link to our calls to anyone else. And then, make sure that you're respectful when we're on the call. If we have a class discussion, we will do a few of those. Make sure that if I call on you, whatever you share, you're trying to be considerate and respectful of other people. We all have different opinions on things, and that's great. I'm actually very much an advocate for free speech. That's kind of one of my big things. And, I know currently we're in an environment where even Facebook is like censoring people. And I'm like, no, that's against the First Amendment. That's wrong. So we try to have, really in-depth discussions, but at the same time, as college students, we're going to be respectful of one another. And you can read through that. No cyberbullying or anything like that. Okay. This is an important highlight. Those quizzes, they close on Sunday nights at 11:59 p.m. It is very complicated for me to go back and unlock one without creating weirdness for everyone else. So anytime a student just misses one or I forgot, can you unlock it for me real quick and let me take it? And it's complicated. It's more complicated than just button push for me. Okay. So once they close, they're not going to reopen. There will be some opportunities for extra credit. So if ever you miss a quiz, just know there's going to be some other opportunities for extra credit later in the quarter. They're 10 points apiece. So it's not going to kill you on your average, but it is important to just prioritize getting those quizzes in and getting them in on time. There won't be like unlock and make it up or anything like that for the quizzes. Okay. Other papers and assignments. Yes. If you are running late, it's fine. There'll be a little penalty there simply because I've got to be fair to everyone else to kind of keep deadlines going. But if you're running late on anything else, other than the quizzes, let me know. Even if you are going to miss a quiz, let me know. And I'd be happy to work with you on a plan. Okay. Here's the breakdown of your percentages, how many points things are worth. So your quizzes, journals, and other assignments, etc., are all together worth 400 points, like cumulatively. The quizzes themselves are worth 10 points apiece. So again, if you do happen to miss one, it's not going to totally wreck your average. This is on a 1,000 point scale. Okay. So, you know, that would put you down to potentially a 990 if you missed a quiz. And then there's extra credit opportunities. So do the bonus quiz right here at the beginning. It's for bonus points. We also have an educational plan components. This is super important, 300 points. It involves developing a plan for your future, your education, working with me individually. We'll have an individual meeting time where you talk with me about your goals and plans, and we talk about some options for you. And then also meeting with a guidance counselor on campus to get your quarter scheduled for next time. Like go ahead and get a map. They get not only next quarter, but a future quarters. They help you roadmap your classes. One of the other key reasons that we offer this class and require it is we see a lot of students, and this is not just here in Spokane, everywhere I've taught, we see a lot of students who end up kind of losing their path when it comes to signing up for classes and making a plan and getting graduated on time. So what we want for you is not for you to be losing money, losing time, finishing something in 5 years when it should have been finished in 2. We want you to try to be able to move through and get to your goal. Okay. So that's one of the other reasons they require this class, is to help you take the reins, so to speak. Any horse riders in the room, reins is how we control a horse. Or take the wheel if you're driving a car. We want you to take the wheel of, you know, when it comes to your education, we want you to be in the driver's seat and kind of know what steps you need to take so that you are able to take all the required classes, finish in 2 years, and or transfer to whatever university you're thinking about. Okay. Then we have a final and paper and project. Okay. I'm going to pause there. Are there any other questions that have come up so far? I know I'm moving a little bit quickly here. Just speak up if you have a question. Okay. Another quick note, if you do take that bonus quiz by the end of the week, the highlighted parts are usually the quiz questions. Just write that down. The highlighted parts of the syllabus are usually the quiz questions, okay? So this is a quiz question that we're looking at here on my screen right now, how we calculate grades, because I always get a lot of questions from students of like, how do I calculate my grade? What's my grade? What's my grade? What's my grade? I update Canvas, but I'm usually about 2 weeks behind. So whenever you complete it, it's usually like a week or 2 later before you'll see the grades like popping up. Those quizzes will instant grade for you, but like journal entries and projects and papers and things like that, it takes me a little bit. So students are always like, my grade, my grade, my grade. But it's on a 1,000 point scale. So if you finish with 900 points or higher, the final grade would then be 90, right? I will even take an 895. If you've got 895 points, that would be an 89.5. And I will gladly round that up for you to get you to 90. You see what I'm saying? So there's an example here below. If you finish with 870 points, that would, you just stick a decimal point in there on the third digit. So it would be an 87.0, if that makes sense for your final score. That way you can kind of keep track of it, okay, yourself. This is a quiz question, so it'll ask you a scenario of like, okay, if you finish with 682 points, what's the exact grade come out to? And you're going to say 68.2 if that's what is on the quiz. Any questions about that? Should be easy, I think, for everyone. There's a grade scale, okay, of what it translates to on your transcript. Let me know if you have questions on that. Plagiarism and cheating. This is for any college class, not just my class. We don't copy stuff directly from someone else's work on the internet. We don't take work from our partner and have our partner do our assignments, or a friend, or whoever else. We don't resubmit the same thing over and over, etc. So here's a list, a checklist, and we'll go a little bit more in depth into this when we get to our paper. Okay, and our presentation that we're going to do, and that's at the end of the quarter, by the way. So the paper and presentation are at the very end of the quarter. These things, though, you need to keep in the back of your mind always for any class. Sometimes I have students who say, Miss Wilson, I don't write very well for my essays, or Miss Wilson, English is my second language. So I need, you know, still submit always your own work. Don't ever copy work from somewhere else. It's not worth it. I have had to fail students before over plagiarism, and I don't like to. It's not fun. But anyway, just do your own work and do your best. Reach out to me. And we also do have some great resources on campus. For example, if you're doing a writing project or a PowerPoint, we have our tutoring center on campus. And I'll be talking about that probably next week. I don't know if we'll get to it this week, but probably next week. Okay, here's our course schedule for the first 2 weeks. I usually do a 2-week time frame on our schedules because we sometimes get a little off track if I try to plan like too far ahead. That's why you see so many things locked on your on my Canvas screen. And then I just kind of unlock as we go. And if we need more time on something, then I move something else around or whatever. But the first 2 weeks, we've got our weekly journal topic due by Sunday at 11:59 p.m. I showed you that. It's located in the discussion board. We're actually going to start on it in just a few minutes here. And then you've got a CSI survey link. It is not unlocked for you yet. So it's not working. The link is not working. If I hear from my supervisor today and they get me an updated link or whatever's the problem is, I will unlock it. At any rate, it is due. If it takes them a while, if it takes them a couple hours to get that done, okay, I'll make it due Sunday. If it takes them a couple days, I'll give you more time. I'll be fair to students in that regard. And then the only other assignment you have, as you can see at the top here, is to review the syllabus and take the bonus quiz. It's not going to penalize you if you don't, but it's worth it to go ahead on the front end and get some bonus points for this class. Our final stuff on the syllabus is just kind of some basic statements. If you have a disability, you're not required to tell me about it. You can contact the office and the number that's above there. Let them know that you have a disability and they'll ask you for some documentation or whatever. They will reach out to me confidentially and they won't tell me any details, but they'll just say, hey, we have a student who's visited our office or called and contacted us. We need you to work with him or her in this way. And I'll be like, sure. Here's some other like helpful support if you need it. You do have Microsoft Office available to you for free as a student. I think it's always important to tell students you do not have to pay for Microsoft Office. Bookstore orders, things like that. Okay, that's kind of the final closing remarks there on the syllabus. So with that, are there any questions? That was a really fast run through, I know. Speak up if you have any questions. How many of you like the speed? Or maybe wish I was a little slower? You like the speed? Like, let's just get to it. Okay, let's get it done. Okay, I'm gonna zoom back out a tiny bit. Like I said, it sometimes gets quirky with me or freezes up on me if I'm in zoom in mode on Zoom. So discussions, let's go to the discussion now. We've got 20 minutes on the call here. I'm going to call on a few of you to just verbally share real quick, and then I'll give us the rest of the time to start writing so that this, or typing rather. If you want to, you don't have to handwrite it, type it because it's going to have to be submitted anyway. Start typing something out. We won't have time to watch the video today, but we will watch the video next time. I'll give you 12 or 15 minutes on the call next time to view the video. So this journal entry requires 3 paragraphs total. Paragraph 1, you're going to introduce yourself, tell us a few nice things about you, where you're from, etc., your hobbies and interests, etc. And then also share with us any subjects that you really liked in school or that you felt were your strongest, and any subjects in school that you really disliked, hated, or just were not very good at. This last part's important. Knowing what subjects you liked in high school and what subjects you hated is going to help you decide what job field you need to be in or not. If you did not like science, you don't need to pursue a science career, right? So I'm interested in hearing from you guys. I'll volunteer. I hated math. Math was not me. So I went the opposite. I went to English. But I'm going to call on a couple people. And let me hear from Kylie. Kylie, can you share just a couple quick things about yourself, and also what subjects did you really like in school, or what were you good at, and what subjects did you really just dislike?
So the subjects I really disliked was math.
Okay.
I've always been really bad at math. My favorite subjects are anything science. I love science.
Okay.
Which doesn't even make sense because math and science are hand in hand, but and a few things about me. I graduated in 2020, so in June I graduated. I this is my first time doing like college and stuff. I was gonna do fall classes, but I had some technical difficulties.
That was rough, yes.
Yeah. Well, a couple more things, I guess. I like to snowboard and I snowmobile, and I like all the seasons. That's why I love living up here.
Okay. Are you from this area originally or no?
I was born in Colorado,
Okay.
and then my family brought me down here, and I've been here ever since.
Okay, awesome. Thank you for going first and for sharing. Let me hear from Kinmei. Are you able now to?
Yes, can you hear me, Miss?
Yes.
Okay. A few things I want to share is my name is Kim May. You can call me Kim or Kim May, whatever. So I graduated from Lewis and Clark, and I like the best thing I like the art subject because I like drawing. It's really my stuff. And yeah, I don't like math either. It's always confused me. Like it's like messing my brain. Like yeah, I like the art subject. And yeah, I've been in Spokane for 7 years now.
Okay.
Yeah, I travel from Thailand and live here for 7 years. And it's my first
Beautiful.
freshman year in
Thailand?
SEC. So yeah,
Is Thailand very beautiful?
everything new to me.
Okay.
And oh yeah, they're beautiful. The capital cities from Bangkok. Yeah.
Okay. Thank you for sharing. Let me hear from.
I just got back from my vacation. Yeah.
Oh, your
And
vacation.
everything started up for school and everything. Yeah.
Okay. Nice. So
Yep.
I know you're just super excited to be starting back to school today.
Mhm. Yeah, getting everything started.
Right. I hear you. I'm kind of depressed, honestly, that vacation's over. I wish we could have had one more week.
I know. Yeah, everything's like messed up with the COVID. Cannot like do anything.
Okay, thank you. Thank you, Kinmei. Paul.
Yeah, so let's see. So my favorite classes in high school, I'd probably say I also just graduated in 2020. I like math and history. I like those classes. I've struggled with English sometimes, so I wouldn't say I dislike it, but sometimes it's a little bit harder for me, I guess. And yeah, I'm originally from Utah. I just moved out here for school. I actually just got here a couple of days ago, so again, familiar with the area, just settling in. So yeah.
Awesome. Hopefully things will be opened up a little bit more soon so that you can actually check it out.
Yeah, for sure.
All right. Thanks for sharing, Paul. Let me hear from Lexi.
Hi. My name is Alexis. I am originally from Spokane. Some of my hobbies, I do have 2 dogs and I enjoy reading. My hardest subject in school is English. One of my favorites is math and science.
Awesome. Awesome. Thank you for sharing. LaDonna. Uh-oh. Uh-oh.
Can you hear me now?
Got it.
My favorite subject was math, but it was also my difficult subject. Love-hate relationship. I also liked science. I'm actually originally from Kettle Falls, Washington, so further north from here, but my mom moved us down here when I was like 3 for better job opportunities for her. I like anything outdoors. I do have a small child, and then I also do have a little puppy that I'm trying to train right now. Yeah, that's about it.
Thanks for tuning in, okay? Thanks for tuning in. Brianna,
Hello. So my favorite classes in high school were my science and English classes. And I didn't really care for my history or government classes that much just because I thought they were kind of boring. And I guess a little bit about me. I moved about 4 years ago from Northern California after I graduated high school. And I've just kind of just been working full time and just decided to get back into finishing my degree.
where in California?
It's a really small town. It's called Alturas, California. There's like 5,000 people in our whole town. Yeah,
What's it
but
close to?
Redding, California is about 3 hours south.
It's beautiful up there. We thought about moving to Redding at some point, and kind of glad we didn't. I know it's a hard time right now for a lot of Californians, but anyway, nice to meet you. Let me call on a couple more people. I won't get to everyone today. Austin, let me hear from you. I think we're muted. No worries, Austin. I see that you're there. I see you're there. No worries. Okay. Ben, you can be our last one.
My name's Ben. I'm born and raised in Spokane. I like skiing, fishing, all that outdoor stuff, skateboarding. My favorite subjects were probably social studies and like gym. And then I kind of struggled in the math.
Okay. No, that's great. That's great. The fitness industries are really, really hurting right now. But up until COVID, the fitness industry, honestly, is a pretty booming business and could be a good career. I've got good friends who have made nice careers in the just gym, in the gym industry. So hopefully COVID will be over with soon and everybody can reopen
For real.
those gyms. I know I need it. Okay, I won't call. So we've got 10 more minutes technically for our required class time. Again, I always try to help us do some of the homework with the class time. So I had a few
It's supposed to be
there. I didn't call on everyone. But let's all type and if you're not ready to submit it yet, because you don't want to submit one and then have to submit again, type it somewhere and save it until you're ready to type out the rest. If you'd like to work ahead, you can. So 4 to 6 sentences is required for the paragraph to get credit. If I only see a couple sentences, you won't get credit. Then the next one, we're talking about any previous school or work experiences where you asked for help and unfortunately got a negative response. So bad school or work experiences. I'm pretty sure everyone has had one of those at some point. And then you're going to follow that up with a positive experience. So we've all, if you've worked anywhere or gone to school at all, we've all had negative experiences before. We're going to share a negative experience and then a positive experience. If you don't finish this today, it's okay. We're going to work on the rest of it next time I see you, which is Wednesday. We'll watch a little video and talk about it real quick and then finish this up. And then we'll start looking at, so I went over the syllabus. Your bonus questions should be there, but go ahead and take the last 10 minutes of the call and start working on this one and this one. And many students will finish it in 10 minutes. Okay. If you need to log out in order to finish your journal, you may do so. If you'd like to visit with me a few minutes on the call and talk about a possible alternate time, because I am thinking about setting one of those up, maybe at the end of the week, Thursdays or Fridays, for those who are working, or if the Monday, Wednesday, if you have to miss for some reason, I'm happy to talk with you about that, okay? So if you need to log out to work on this, feel free. Have a good day, everyone. So anybody who's still here in the next few minutes, we'll talk about alternate times. LaDonna, thanks for joining. I know it's a hectic Monday, huh?
Yes.
They changed some schedule. Were you originally on this class or were you on a different section? They did some changes as recently as like 3 days ago.
I think I was originally on this one,
Okay.
if I remember right.
Okay. Okay. So they do require, and it's not coming from me, it's the requirement. They're requiring like Zoom in times. With that said, I know that COVID is just hectic with people's work schedules. It's been hectic for mine. They've changed my schedule around to as recently as last week. They've changed my schedule some. So what, for anyone else who's on the call, would Fridays work? Are they still equally as hectic for you at work on a Friday, or do you get off a little earlier, or no?
On Fridays, I actually have off.
You're off. Okay.
Yeah.
Anyone else on the call? Would a Friday meeting time be, and it doesn't have to be mornings. We could try afternoons or something like that, but my Fridays are pretty flexible and it's like my office time. So anybody else have thoughts?
Miss, about the journal, where do we submit it?
It should be open for you to actually post it on the discussion board. We're not
Oh,
going to
really?
yet though. We're going to write the first two. So type it out and save it. We'll have to do one more paragraph next time and then submit.
And
You should be able, let me share my screen.
so
That's
we just make a.
You should
Yeah,
be
yeah.
able, do you see where this is? This is under discussion. So click discussion and week 1 journal. And you should be able to hit reply. See that?
Oh, so we click reply to make it.
When you're
Okay, I see
ready,
now.
when you're ready. Yeah, but make sure you're finished with everything before you. So if I hit reply, it gives me all of
Okay,
it.
okay.
You see? But you need to make sure you're finished before you reply. So I tell students it might be good to type it somewhere, save, and then copy it in.
Mm-hmm.
But if you've got time and you want to
And
work
Miss,
on all of it, you can.
about the TED video.
Yeah. So we have 3 paragraphs. I've got 2 that we're
So
working.
when is the video gonna be uploaded?
It's here. You can go to, so you can, here's the video, asking for help is a strength, not a weakness. I guess I could add the link in here for you guys. That would maybe help everyone. But you go to, can you see Google? Can you see my screen? With
Yes, I can see.
I can add the link, but this is the video. Do you see?
Oh, okay.
Yes,
I see.
Yeah. So if you want to, we are going to do this next time on Wednesday. But if you want to work ahead and go ahead and look at it, you can.
Okay.
You totally can. Okay.
Okay. Thank you.
Yeah. Awesome. Any other questions? These are all great. So LaDonna, let me check through email for a couple of other students who are not here, and I'll get back to you about Friday. It will probably be an afternoon time. I sometimes have teacher meetings in the mornings. It's like our planning and grading and all of that kind of day, but we usually have like a 9 a.m. teacher meeting, that kind of thing. So I'll check on sometimes, but that way I think it'll just be good for everyone. If I have, Monday, Wednesday, but if you miss, here's an extra day where you can check in or something like that to get credit for attendance. Okay.
Okay.
Hopefully we'll help. I know how it is to be a working mom.
Yes.
It's nightmarish. I'm kind of lucky I'm able to do part-time at home or whatever right now until we get all of this COVID crisis sorted out. Okay.
Yeah.
Have a good day, everybody.
You too.
JD, do you have questions for me? Are you doing okay?
Yeah, I'm good. No questions.
All right, awesome. I'm going to go ahead and stop the recording and log out.